Hey everyone. Hello, it's Friday night. It's time for What's for Dinner at Dudash Farms. This is Kim Dudash, and we have Brian Dudash. And tonight, I hope you saw in the, the message, the notification that we are going to be preparing Vietnamese grilled pork chops. And this is a recipe that we got when we were on our trip, our recent trip. We visited Vietnam, and I think we mentioned that we actually took a cooking class while we were in Vietnam, and this is one of the recipes that we prepared. So we're going to share that with you. Also, we will show you the recipe, and then we will also attach it to this live in the comments so that you can have that if you are interested in doing that this week. So, hi, Ann Dudash. Your mama's watching already. All right, so let's get started. This recipe has a dipping sauce, so I think you're going to start there, right?
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it calls for hot Thai chili peppers.
Yes.
So I put those in a separate bowl. So that'll be mine, and you can have yours.
Yeah, so it does call for Thai chili peppers, and I am gonna wipe this off real quick. Excuse me for doing this, but I just think that it looked a little foggy. So there we go. There we go.
All right. So in this bowl I have 6 tablespoons of water, and it calls for 2 tablespoons of sugar and a tablespoon and a half of either fresh lime juice or fresh lemon juice. Don't have either one of those, so I'm going to use sweetened lime juice, and I'm not going to use any sugar.
Okay.
So this is a tablespoon and a half of the sweetened lime juice, and then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. And of course, just about every recipe I think we've done from Vietnam has fish sauce. I forgot my apron in
Oh my gosh, do I need to go get that for you?
No.
I think your apron is actually hanging in the hallway if you want to grab it.
That's okay. All right, so 2 big T.
Big T, yeah.
Fish sauce.
It makes me think of Zorba. Do you guys ever watch Zorba, Pastor and Tom? I mean, Tom's retired now, but...
Or listen.
Yeah, I said watch, didn't I? Listen.
And then it calls for 1 garlic clove minced. I'm just going to I'm cheating tonight and using the stuff out of the jar. And I think that's what we used in Vietnam.
It was.
And it tasted very good. And that is it, other than that's the...
And so that's going to be, that's the chilies, yeah. And so, as Brian said, I'm not a really big chili fan. So that's the dipping sauce that we will use for these Vietnamese grilled pork chops that we're preparing. And so, yeah, if you're just joining us, we are preparing some grilled pork chops with a Vietnamese flair. And it does have a dipping sauce. And so now what, Brian?
So now we're going to work on a marinade.
Okay, the marinade for the pork chops.
For the pork chops. And we actually did it ahead of time so we could cook them ahead of time because we wanted to marinate them overnight.
Yeah.
And so this time, I'm actually just going to use some pork, I guess I'll call it chunks. This is a ham steak that I've taken and just cut up into bite-sized pieces. So the recipe, when you look this up, I cannot even closely pronounce what this is in Vietnamese, but it translated as grilled pork chops.
Yeah.
Which was interesting. When we did it, they just cooked them on a, what would you call it, a skillet?
Well, kind of like a George Foreman grill.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it wasn't a George Foreman, but that's what it looked like.
Here's the word, Kim. I'm not sure if you can, if that'll show up or not.
Let's see.
Just below my finger.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to attempt it.
All right.
All right. So I'm going to put the pork in a Ziploc bag here. And again, we're going to marinate it 24 hours. Every time I open the refrigerator door, I'm going to flip the bag over and shake it up a little bit, try to get good, even coating of the marinade. Feeding and drinking coffee and working at the same time.
Hey, I'm a working girl.
All right, let me rinse my hands real quick.
It's like the Arctic in here, so I'm drinking coffee and got my sweatshirt on.
Yeah, you need to step outside.
Well, I was outside. And that makes it even more cold in here.
Okay. So, do need the sugar.
All righty. Hey, that's okay. So, yeah, if you're just joining us, we are making Vietnamese grilled pork chops, and we've made our little dipping sauce, and Brian is preparing the marinade. He's gone to get the sugar, and now he's back. So here we go. Let's turn this around.
So 3 tablespoons of sugar.
3 big T sugar.
Yeah, sounds like a lot, but this fish sauce is very, very salty, so you're trying to offset that.
Yeah, and fish sauce is made from anchovies.
I love it.
Oh, I do too, but I had no idea it was made from.
People, when you just say it,
it sounds a little strange.
Kind of fishy.
Well, and it is fishy, and even when you say anchovies, that sounds. But it is actually very good.
All right, then 2 big teas of soy sauce, and we're going to use low sodium soy sauce just because there is so much salt in the fish sauce.
Good call. I don't need to blow up like a blowfish.
All right, now 2 tablespoons of fish sauce. And it calls for a neutral oil.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just going to help with the grilling process. So
we're using Smart Balance.
Yeah. I'm just going to put in 1 since I'm probably going to pan fry this. You don't have to grill it.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be hard to grill these little pieces.
Yeah.
Then it calls for 6 tablespoons of lemongrass. Typically that comes in like sticks.
Yeah.
And
it's right.
Basically you have to remove it. It's not edible. It's very, very woody. But I got a lemongrass paste.
Mm-hmm.
Much more stronger in taste. So I'm just going to use 3 tablespoons of this paste.
Okay.
Here. And this smells very good.
Yeah, it does.
You can see it's an exact measurement.
Well, and if you notice, Brian is saying, this is what the recipe calls for, but this is what I'm going to do. And, we've talked about this a lot of times before about how a recipe is really just a framework and you can really modify it. I mean, if there's something that you don't like, for example, I'm not a chili fan, so he's going to separate that out and put that in his, or maybe you're not, maybe you're not a lemon juice fan, maybe you're a lime juice fan. So just do what you want and use the framework.
Yep. All right, so it calls for 2 tablespoons of garlic.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of garlic. Who doesn't like garlic?
Well, people in India do not like garlic. That's something I learned.
2 tablespoons of, it calls for shallots, or I recommend if you have a mild onion like a Vidalia, that'll work just fine too.
All right.
Just want to chop it up fine.
Awesome.
So that's our marinade. And this was about 1.5 pounds of the ham steak that we cut up into bite-sized pieces.
So if you've just joined us or you joined us late and you're wondering why we're calling it Vietnamese grilled pork chops, and Brian is sitting here with a bunch of cut up ham steak, we have actually prepared the pork chops ahead of time because this marinade requires that it soak or marinade for 24 hours. And so we did that. We prepared the pork chops, and now we're doing the same thing, but we're using a ham steak. He cut it into small pieces, and we are going to eat that with another meal. So now I think he's going to plate it up, right? Oh, and I got to show you. So those of you who know me well, you'll understand why this thing is so cute and perfect for me. But this is a mold, a rice mold that I got. Oh, it's going to stick. In Japan. Look at that. It's a little black kitty cat. But
I think it's white.
Well, it is now. But I got that cute little rice mold when we were in Japan. Isn't that cute? And now he's going to put the pork chop on there. And so that'll be Brian's pork chop. Look at that. That looks so good. And honestly, it smells delicious. And so Brian prepared this on the grill. Brian, Mark Allen is watching, and he says, Carver Bears for life. And tell him that I'm ready to go one-on-one. And
we played middle school basketball
love all
together.
the vacation pictures. That's been a while.
Yeah.
That was 10 years ago?
4
yeah, 7 years ago.
Close to it.
Yeah.
So
there we go. That's it. And then, you're going to put your marinade probably on your rice, maybe? I don't know.
It's called a dipping sauce.
Yeah.
But
dipping sauce.
I think that's what I will do is just put it over the rice.
Yeah. So,
and it smells so good.
It does. It really does. So, and like I said, I will put this recipe in the comments of this live. Okay, so you can have it and you can try it maybe this weekend, or I know what you need to do. You need to come by the Dudash Farmers Market, pick up some pork chops, use the recipe, and prepare this over the weekend. So, speaking of the Dudash Farmers Market, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you who's going to be there tomorrow. We're going to have a pretty good group tomorrow. Let me grab my list. You know me, I have to have my notes. So Sandy Ridge Vineyard, they're going to be there tomorrow. We'll have the girls there. They've had some beautiful vegetables, but I got to be honest with you guys. This dry weather is putting a hurting on farmers and their vegetables. So, we're going to have as much as we can, bring. But it's slim pickings. With that said, you need to come early. If you're going to come and get some fresh vegetables, you need to come to the market early. We open at 8 a.m. and we'll be there until noon tomorrow. So Sandy Ridge Vineyard will be there. They have their vegetables and their eggs. Cott County FFA is going to be there. They had some beautiful plants last week and some vegetables. So come out and support them. They're going to be there. Hillbilly Homestead will be there tomorrow. That will be Shelley. And Shelley I think Shelley may even have duck eggs. I don't know, but she may possibly. But she will have her jams and jellies, so be sure to come by and see Shelley. John Mueller, John will be back tomorrow. John is our wood crafter. He's been gone for the last couple of weeks vacationing, and we're very happy that he's been on vacation. And we're going to be happy to see him tomorrow. So come by and see John. He has lots of beautiful wood crafts, but if there's something that you would like to have that maybe John doesn't have, talk with him. He'll build it. He's very, very talented. Found a Pearl Farm. Of course, Laura Wall will be there tomorrow. She has all of her wonderful sourdough breads and baked goods, and she just has a little bit of everything. So come out and see her. She's had some blueberry scones. I mean, if she has the fruits, she's going to make something from it. So come out tomorrow. Check out the Facebook page. She may have everything listed there. So look for that. Endeavor Coffee Roasters. They are a new vendor this year. They make fresh coffee while they're sitting at the farmer's market, and it smells delicious. Come out and get some samples. Try out some of their coffee. You'll love it. It's very good. And then Megan's Baked Goods. Megan will be there. Megan has, I think, the best cookies that I've tasted. She really does. She's got all kinds. So come out and get you a cookie, maybe a scone from Laura, or some bread, and get you some Endeavor coffee. We've got you hooked up. Dudash Farms will be there. We're going to have some beautiful tomatoes. We'll have our beef and pork, and we'll have eggs, and we'll have some flowers. Flowers are getting kind of slim right now because it's so hot, but we're going to have them. So come out and get some of those to brighten up your room. Feed bag rehab. We will have Pam there tomorrow, and she has those awesome feed bag, tote bags that I keep talking about, and her bowls. She keeps having these creative, ideas about new bowls to make. And, I think Brian is going to stop allowing her to have a tent next to ours because we're going to go broke with me buying bowls and bags. Ramblin' Roots will be there tomorrow. So come and see her. She has some gluten-free goodies. So if that's of interest to you.
And a few vegetables.
And a few vegetables. Yeah. And flowers. So come out and see her. And, Leanne's Homemade Breads. Leanne's been there. She's got some beautiful breads. She makes some sourdoughs and whole grain, I think, thing. So come out and see Leanne. So that's who's going to be there tomorrow. We can't wait to see you. Come hang out with us and tell us about your holiday weekend and what you did and all that jazz. We'd love to hear it and just see ya. Let's see. Somebody's commenting my knee surgery went well, but I will have to miss you all tomorrow, hoping my daughter can stop by. Lynette, well, you know what? I'm glad your knee surgery went well. That's a win. And we will hate that we won't get to see you tomorrow, but maybe in the next couple of weeks, you'll get to come back and see us. So, all right, guys, that's it. I'm going to show you. Brian's got this all plated up. He's got his dipping sauce with his chili peppers, and he's got his kitty cat rice mold and his beautiful Vietnamese grilled pork chop. And yeah, that's what we're having for dinner. So again, I'll make sure that the recipe is in the comments later tonight. And we really appreciate you guys. And we'll see you hopefully tomorrow. And if not, we'll see you next Friday at What's for Dinner at Dudash Farms.
Let's eat.
Let's eat. Bye.